November 1, 2, 1, Mike.
I interrupt this program to bring a special shout out to Mike Christie. So thank you, Mike. He pointed out a glaring error in the previous version of this video a few days ago. I, for some reason, uttered that standard temperature was 20 degrees Celsius, which of course it is not. It is 59 Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius. I know this, Mike obviously knows this, but I don't know why I repeated it several times. I pride myself in making high quality, reliable content, and so I apologize for this mistake. So here I am now correcting it later on in this video. Unfortunately, I would love to say that, there will be no more mistakes in the future, but I promise you there will be some. So thanks, Mike, for fixing that little mistake. And now, on with the program.
Taxi 111.
Hi, I'm Mike Thompson, and welcome to 121 Point Mike Ground School. I'm going to talk about whether or not... Yeah, I guess I will. All your tests will hit it pretty hard, and so you need to know whether you can fly safely. Okay, I'll stop that now. Weather. There's far too much to cover in one video, so this is going to be broken up by topic or element. This video is simply on an introduction to weather. Why do we have weather? Well, because we have a sun. I have two, Alex and Ollie. Well, plus the one in the sky, I guess. The sun heats the earth, but not evenly, of course, like a non-convection oven. Differences in temperature causes difference in pressure and humidity, and then this leads to wind and all the other things that we call weather. Whether you like it or not. Oops, I did it again. Scientists decided that the atmosphere has layers, like onions or ogres. Weather mostly exists in the lowest layer of the atmosphere, which is the troposphere. That's because most of the air mass and moisture are down there. But I bet when people think of atmosphere, the word stratosphere comes to mind. The stratosphere is the next layer, but it's up in the 50K range, and most jets can't get there anyway. But it'd sure be some smooth sailing because there's really no weather up there. So we need a way to remember that the troposphere is the lowest layer. We know that weather exists in the lowest layer because, well, that's where we are and we experience weather. I don't, though, have a good way for you to remember that the lowest layer of atmosphere is the troposphere. Of course, troposphere and atmosphere, like the root of any word, is come from Greek. Tropos meaning rotating, and atmos means steam. Then, of course, there's sphere, which is a word we all understand, especially in the sports world of base sphere, basket sphere, and foot sphere, which isn't a sphere at all. Troposphere is the lowest one. Tropo is low. Low tropo. Tropo low. Maybe that'll help. I certainly won't forget it now. Wind is caused by pressure differences, right? It flows from a high to a low, and that makes sense, right? If the air is rising, it's not exerting as much down force on your body, and it's a region of low pressure. If the air is descending, then the air is pushing down a bit harder, and it's a region of high pressure. I'll spend quite a bit of time on weather charts and reports in different videos, but I wanted to cover some basics right now so that, you feel that this entire video wasn't a total waste. You never hear about weather backs, only fronts. A front is a boundary between different air masses. On charts, cold fronts are depicted with the blue lines and triangles. Blue is cold, right? That's easy to remember. And the warm fronts are depicted by the red line with the little semicircles. Kind of looks like suns because, well, suns are warm. The little flags, or setting suns, point in the direction that the front is moving. And so the air on the line side, not the flag side, contains that air that the front symbol depicts, whether it's warm or cold air. If the front's not moving, then it's a stationary front. And the suns and triangles alternate on different sides of the line. They do point opposite, though, so don't be confused, right? The warm air is on the side that the cold flags are on, and the cold air is on the sunny side. So, think of what's behind the front, and that may help you. Hey, if it's behind the front, is it a back? Standard air temperature is 59 Fahrenheit or 15 Celsius, 59 F or 15 C. Weird, I know, but you got to know that. So, those were fronts. Now, what would you know about pressure? pressure. I'm talking about air pressure. And the air pressure is higher down low, right? Because we've got all the weight of the air up above squishing down on it. The higher you go, the lower the pressure because there's, well, less air above it. Now, I didn't ask for it, and neither did any man. But the pressure is pushing down on me, pushing down on you, but less the higher you go. I covered this during my altimeter video, but I'm going to mention it here again because it's so important. The standard pressure is 29.92 inches mercury. 2992. 2992. 2992. It's that important. This means that the weight of the atmosphere can lift a mercury in a tube, this high. Of course, if the top of that little tube is in a vacuum. Now, you're also going to need to know that the atmospheric pressure decreases at about an inch per 1,000 feet down low. 1 inch per 1,000, about. So that means that in Middle America, where the sectional charts are light green, that the standard pressure at ground level is about 28.92. And I'll mention one more thing here to cover later in another video, but you Northern Hemisphere people probably already know this. Which way does a low pressure system spin? Long pause. Have you had any experience with hurricanes or tornadoes? They spin counterclockwise in the Northern Hemisphere and anti-clockwise in Europe. Okay, so to sum up this intro, reds are hot, blues are cold. 2992 is standard at 59 Fahrenheit and 15 C. Pressure drops at about 1,000 per 1,000, 1 inch per 1,000. Lows go counterclockwise and highs go clockwise. And the root of everything is Greek, whether you like it or not. But go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. That'll certainly help me out, as well leaving a bunch of comments down below and engaging in lively discussions. And thanks for staying with me on 121 Point Mike.